welcome to the show, episode 1. Episode 1, first episode of the Shig Show. So I'm getting Shiggy with it, your host. I'm really excited to be joined by all my friends from TikTok and becoming real life friends, really. Yeah. And so I just really appreciate you guys joining me today. I think we'll have one more in a few minutes. But I'd love to get started with some intros, just who you are, what platforms people can find you on, and maybe just a little bit about yourself. So Ryan, how about you kick us off?
All right. Well, first off, thank you. Oh, see, perfect timing. He's here. But I'll go ahead and keep going. So you can find me on YouTube primarily. Please go subscribe, RyanShead. I'm also running for a state house here in Arizona. So I'll be running for the LD9 seat. So I'm already registered and going. So excited about that. And I have 2 podcasts. I have the Nikki Ryan Show on Mondays at 6 o'clock Eastern. And then I have the Ryan Rants podcast, which is on Tuesdays at 5 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. So you can find me there. Thank you for allowing me to be on your Voyage show. It's an honor to be here. So thank you and good luck. I know it's going to be great.
Thanks, Ryan. All right, Mike.
Yeah, again, thanks for having me on here as well. My name is mikeypiv on all the socials. Same name on all of them. You can call me Mike or Mikey, either one. Born and raised New Yorker, living in Minnesota the last 21 years. I've worked in the medical device industry as an engineer for the past 20 plus years. Staunch pro-vaxxer. Yeah, that's me.
Awesome. Thanks for being here, Mike. And
thank you.
We were just talking kind of like behind the scenes before we went live, and Mike and I get to meet up in July. So I'm really excited to finally meet in person. So
yes.
All right, Matt.
So my name is Matt, USMCangryveteran on TikTok and YouTube. Not much in the YouTube yet, but content is coming. Like everybody else, I'm really excited to be here for episode 1. Thanks for having me, and let's get into some stuff, guys. I'm excited.
Do it.
And Danesh.
Hi. Yes, Danesh, thatdaneshguy on TikTok. I'm not on any other social media. Well, I am, but it's not public, so just follow me on TikTok. You really don't need to follow me in other things.
Leave it that way.
That's where I'll come see you guys. I'm from California originally. I live out in rural Pennsylvania. I studied political science and anthropology in college, and I did comedy for about a decade. And I like to go on to the TikToks and make people feel bad about themselves, but people who deserve it.
Well, you actually make me feel bad about myself because your witty responses. I'm sitting there going, "Damn, I wish I'd thought of that."
Yeah.
Sorry, unintentional.
I love it. Thank you guys so much for joining. I got all my guys. Yes. And next week we're gonna have all ladies. So that'll be super. Yep, that'll be super fun. And I'm getting Shiggy with it. You can find me on the TikTok at Getting Shiggy with It, and my backup, because I frequently get banned, at Getting Shiggy with It too. Just came off a 2-week ban, which we'll talk about in a second. Yeah. And then I'm also on Instagram, Getting Shiggy, TikTok, and then obviously here on YouTube. Please subscribe. We're going to be doing this hopefully weekly, and coming up with some other content. And if the clock app goes up in flames as it's already burning, shorts might be a thing. So we're testing that out. So, yep. All right, awesome. And I see that we have some people in the comments. So thank you guys so much for joining. But with that said, let's talk about some TikTok stuff. Because I think and I'm not going to jinx it. No, Mike, you have been banned. Mm-hmm. You got on a ban. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I think we've all been banned at one point or another.
You haven't been banned yet?
You haven't?
No, I haven't. And at this point, I'm starting to take it personally.
I'm gonna start reporting your videos. Let's see if we can make it happen.
Yeah, we're all gonna go report Matt's videos after this.
I'm left out of the club at this point.
Man, when it finally happens, that's gonna be a badge of honor for you, brother.
I know. I've been trying. I don't know what else I gotta do.
When I got my first live ban, I asked Chasing Oz about it, and she goes, "That's a badge of honor, Jess." And I said, "Well, when's my badge coming in the email?" And she said, "You have to apply on GeorgeSoros.com." So maybe you need to get with George and figure out what's going on.
I'm still waiting for my check, damn it.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, when you guys get to my number, I've been banned 6 times, permanently banned, and I come back. Let me tell you what it's like after the 5th time. I think after the 4th time, you really just don't care because you go, yeah, I know, and it'll be back in like a couple days or a couple hours because there's nothing that I did that is worthy of a permanent ban. So you start to learn that where that the severity of your ban is. I know that I've done nothing to. Christian Walker came back, so that's what I base everything on. Christian Walker came back. I'll come back. We'll all come back. We'll all be fine.
Yeah.
Ryan, you were recently permanently banned.
I was.
And then came back. So you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Nothing like going into a campaign and then being like, oh, one of your biggest platforms. Yeah, we'll take that. So yeah, it was interesting. But just like my man said, it was I always mispronounce your name, man. I'm sorry.
It's like the sun coming up, but not really. Dawn-ish.
Dawn-ish. Okay, so like Dawn-ish said, I'm gonna fuck that up. It came back within. It was like I think 24 hours, legit. It wasn't long. Then they banned my creator fund like 2 days after that, and I appealed that, and they gave me that back after like a day. But the issue here that we have to focus on is that they're censoring us through loopholes, because like when Danesh is brought back, even though his account's back, it doesn't mean that it's functioning at 100%. No. He doesn't mean he's on the For You page. It doesn't even mean that most of the people that follow him are seeing his videos. It just means he's got his account back. So go ahead.
Sorry, worse than that, actually. All the links that have been shared from any of my TikToks are dead during that time. So that just kills the momentum. And people who've duetted or stitched my videos start getting errors that go, hey, this person got banned, so now your video is being taken down. And when my account comes back, their videos don't come back. So you can't. Yeah, it does permanent damage to my traffic.
Yeah, because you can't even appeal those. Like when I see a duet you created came down because the original came down, there's no in-app appeal process for that, and so those never come back.
They want you to send an email. And I did that one time, and it was for a Rickroll duet that I was very passionate about. It had nothing to do with my channel, but I was very passionate about it. And I sent them an email, and I got an email back saying, this is not the right email to submit this to. And I'm like, it's literally the email you told me to. You specifically told me to email this to request the duet back. Yeah. And it was a Rickroll video. I don't know how that, I don't know. What I was going to say
sorry.
No, go ahead, Mike.
I was going to say, Donish, you had a reply from them that they were going to get back to you in like 24 to 48 hours about something. And did they ever get back to you with that?
I sent them an email saying after, I think this was ban number 5. They did send me an email saying, because I said, why am I being banned like every other week? Why am I feel like I'm not able to communicate with any sort of audience. I have people constantly saying, I haven't seen you on my For You page for months. And I'm like, I've been making content every day. So that sucks. So I wrote to them and said, something else is going on. I threw in a bunch of trigger words where I was like, this isn't happening to my white friends who make the same exact content as I do. It's only happening to me. You don't have very many Middle Eastern creators on this app. Is that purposeful? Like, they try to get their attention to it. And then they said, well, look at it in 48 hours, we'll respond. I was like, cool. And in 48 hours, I was kicked out of the creator fund.
Jeez.
That sounds like TikTok. That sounds very on brand.
Yeah, and so I didn't get, and I appealed that and I lost. But now it's also put me in a spot where, since then, I've had several videos do really, really, really well. And so it just kind of sucks because it is kind of killing my motivation to create because it was pretty much helping me with bills and stuff, and now it's I had, not as much.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. It's the inconsistency for me with TikTok, because going back to that whole like the duet and stitch, if the original one violated, that doesn't always happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
True.
it's almost as if they're just picking and choosing. There's no consistency. We all know that. I mean, it's not like I'm saying anything revolutionary over here, but
the stuff that they leave up, it drives me as much nuts as the stuff they take down of ours. You know, why do they have a reporting for a COVID misinformation option when they never ever take one down for that? You can have everyone's doing the stupid quarter on the arm thing, and with the most obvious and blatant misinformation out there, and they all stay up. None of them come down.
Yeah.
One of my harshest videos that I made was breaking down how Tyler Bluntman operates and how he debates, and every Brandon sad little detail about what he does when he's actually debating. And I was like, there's no way this is gonna, and it was a comment reply to him to one of my videos. So I was like, there's no way this will pass review. So I wrote in the caption, community guidelines notice, Tyler Bluntman is a fictional character. Any similarity to anybody living or dead is entirely coincidental and unintentional. And it's still up. It's been up for a long time.
I like it.
Yeah, I've seen people like start their videos with like, this is for educational purposes only, to try to kind of buck the system.
Yeah.
Well, the funniest inconsistency for me happens to be with my one singular viral million+ viewed video where I called Marjorie Taylor Greene the C word. She did that thing where she put the sign on the wall and did this, and I put up a little sign on my wall, mimicked her actions, where it says Marjorie Taylor Greene is the C word. Right. And all my comments said, you need a bigger sign. So I put up a bigger sign. The small sign video came down. I appealed it and lost. The big sign video came down. I appealed it, and within 5 minutes, it went back up, and it's still up. So if you're going to call her the C word, go big with it.
Now, I just want to touch on something that Danesh touched on, which is, you know, a lot of us went from making literally hundreds of dollars, you know, in the creator fund to, you know, maybe $20 a month. And there have been people that have pointed out that they thought maybe the business structure, the business model that they had to pay the creators wasn't sustainable. So that maybe there was something being introduced that was throttling down a lot of the bigger accounts that were, you know, getting hundreds and, you know, even thousands of dollars a month. I mean, do you guys think there's anything to that?
I mean, I think that it all showed up around the time that Trump wanted to shut down TikTok. And so I felt like that was just intentionally creating legal like loopholes to go through, because now you are banning something that people are getting paid to do, and it gets people more invested into it. And I think once Trump was gone, or once those threats of shutting down TikTok were gone, they kind of wanted to phase that out. Like I don't think they ever intended to pay us. So I think that they're just, I think it's not coincidental that we're all being kicked out.
Yeah.
I mean, I applied like probably at 20,000 followers, because once I hit like 20, I grew fairly quickly, and then I've just kind of been hanging out around 100, which is fine. But I applied. I never heard anything from them, anything. And then at about 90,000, I wasn't thinking about it. I mean, I don't really care all that much about it. I went and checked, and apparently they approved me like 2 weeks after I applied, and they never told me that I was approved. So it was just sitting there. And because I think about lots of other things during the day, I didn't think about it. And I'm like, within that time frame, I had multiple videos go viral. Right. And I'm just like, not trying to be a conspiracy theorist, but it's like, it was weird how they went about it. And it's the same when I finally did join, my views tanked, just absolutely tanked. So I just left, because I was like, well, whatever. If I'm not going to get paid for 200 views, I might as well not get paid for 10,000 views. Although it's not like that right now either.
Right.
So
yeah, no, everybody's account seems to be pretty throttled down right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if there's any one thing that is throttling down everybody. I do know a couple of days ago, day before yesterday, I posted about 8 videos in one day, and 5 of them were talking about COVID misinformation. 3 of them were just random goofy duet things that I did. The COVID misinformation videos that I put up debunking some of the things that people were talking about sat at somewhere between 200 to 600 views for about 12 hours before it started getting any traction at all. And it wasn't until today that they finally broke 1,000 views.
And you have 145,000 followers.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
The
So
COVID misinformation is
I wonder, and I've heard a lot of people talk about the captioning system that TikTok has put out, and that it's made it easier for them to see exactly what you're talking about in the video because of the in-app captions, and it's allowed them to be able to either throttle or pull videos for community guideline violation reasons easier and quicker, which was something that I was like, I could definitely see that. TikTok's a dumpster fire, so yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Real quick, because it's recent and we kind of touched on it, is this whole pay for views, pay for followers nonsense. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
It's bullshit.
It's wish.com Facebook.
It's funny how we were just talking about how they stopped paying us and now they want us to pay them.
Yeah. Seriously.
I mean, I don't know how you guys feel, but it's one of the reasons I'm putting so much effort into the podcasts and the live streams and the YouTube and everything, because I'm tired of working for free. It's one of the reasons I started doing this.
Yeah.
I was tired of making money for other people. So now, not only do you not want to pay me for creating content for your platform, but now you want me to pay you to distribute my content on your platform.
It's going to be interesting to see if they note those differently, like on Twitter where it says promoted or anything like that. I'm curious if they differentiate.
Oh, if I'm paying, I better get like one of them check marks or something and
right.
And some other stuff.
Yeah, damn right.
Then what's the point? I mean, but then then what's really the point of it?
Exactly.
All? I mean,
Well,
yeah.
I was doing stage shows before I was doing TikTok. I got on TikTok because I couldn't perform on stage because comedy clubs are closed. So like that, and I was wondering, like, would I go back to that? And that's a little more enticing now because I could actually get paid for that.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest problems that I have with the whole pay for view, pay for followers thing, if you want to tell somebody, hey, send us $5 and we'll promote this video for 2 hours or whatever, fine. But people have been like really crunching the numbers on how much money you would have to spend to get X amount of views or X amount of followers, and it's not an insignificant amount of money.
No, it's like hundreds of dollars.
Taking a video from like 90,000 views to 200,000 views being something like $16,000 to TikTok to be able to promote your video in that way.
Great, I can't wait to see more Charlie D'Amelio.
Right. All it's going to do is it's going to create a wealth gap. It's going to be a wealth gap like there is in the United States. All the mega creators are going to funnel more money back into their videos and just self-promote.
Yeah. Also the rich preteens, the trust fund kids. Like, remember when Rebecca Black first came out with her music video else because her parents had paid for all that stuff? You're just going to see a lot of that. I know now she's way cool, but like back then, that was really annoying. And I think you're just going to see a lot more of people getting. It is. I mean, especially for someone who's performed for so long, to see somebody just buy their way in is very frustrating. So seeing a lot more of that will just make the whole experience really frustrating.
Yeah. Can I tell you guys a secret?
It's your show.
Her song is my my ringtone.
Okay, I gotta go, guys. See you.
Ryan and Mike better not call me right now. My phone is on silent.
I literally have my phone in my hand.
Well, this kind of segues into a question that a follower has. Katrina asks, so when each of you are having issues, what are your other choices or options to get your content out? I think Ryan kind of touched on it. Clearly, we're doing episode 1 of the Shig Show, which we are turning into the audio into a podcast, which I'm really excited about for people who maybe can't watch it or they rather listen while they're driving because you don't want to watch things while you're driving, and just to have more options that way. So what are your guys' other thoughts on kind of migrating over or using multiple platforms to do the same thing?
So I think actually I was listening to one of your lives, Shiggy, where you were talking about the bones of the app of TikTok, and the way that it allows people to create videos is so super user friendly that it's almost worth it just to make videos on TikTok, download them, and then upload them to every other social media site that you have linked to your name. You know, because you're not wrong. The app itself, you know, the functionality of the app is ridiculously user friendly. You know, it's super simple, and you don't have to have thousands of dollars worth of camera and filming equipment to be a halfway decent YouTube personality that you need to be anymore. You can just pop open your phone, create a video, and put it out there, and now you're exposed. You've exposed yourself to the internet, and there you go. That sounded horrible. That's not what I meant. But,
no, but doesn't it feel that way sometimes, though? It really does.
I'm reporting you. I told you.
Sometimes I post and I go,
I'm really trying to get banned. Banned TikTok.
I mean, I'm surprised some of your crop top videos haven't gotten you banned for nudity.
Seriously, what do I have to do?
So, if I may, I want to expand a little bit on that. So, like, for Nikki and I, that's why we started the Nikki Ryan Show. That's why I started Ryan Rand's podcast. And, you know, and that's why I come and guest on pretty much any of my friends that ask me, I'll come be on your show. Because I think this is what we need to do. We need to shift our influence onto other platforms, because TikTok can take us away and has been trying to take us away like daily. And they are at a minimum, you know, they're silencing us through their algorithms. So I think YouTube is a great option. I think that their shorts that they're beta testing are going to be great. And if they manage to make it as user friendly, like you guys are talking about, I think a lot of us will gladly go over to YouTube and start, you know, using their interface. I'm big on Twitter. I personally think that if you want to get out, be a truly influential person, you know, on social media, you can't do it without Twitter. And the reason I say that is because, you know, if you're going to promote something, doing it on Twitter, I can reach millions of people, like literally within hours. You know, I can't do that on any other platform. Not, you know, TikTok, if they let a video go, maybe. But on Twitter, you know, you can do it. And then if you think about it, when you're reading articles, you know, virtual articles, whatever, what are they always quoting? They're not showing you people's TikTok videos that often, but they are taking screenshots of everybody's tweets and saying, look at what this person tweeted. You know, that's where everybody goes to see, you know, to get what, you know, you're thinking and use it in articles. I've been in the Huffington Post, ABC News, and they take my little screenshot and they put it in their article to justify whatever, you know, their position in the article is.
Well, I'm screwed because I'm permanently banned from Twitter. So someone give me a VPN. Yeah, for calling Candace Owens a "see you next Tuesday."
Nice.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I've appealed it 3 times. Yeah.
I got banned from Twitter as well, and I had a pretty big following because I, in one month, I got 2 tweets that ended up in Huffington Post or something like that. Then one on Jimmy Fallon, and then I had tweeted. I think it was Kumail Nanjiani. He had tweeted something about what happened in Charlottesville back then, and I had tweeted back, it's like these guys get to walk around with swastikas, yet if a Muslim was walking around with let's say a terrorist flag or whatever, that would be unacceptable. Just pointing out the double standard. And I got permanently banned for making a racist comment, and I said, no. I'm not doing that. I'm doing the opposite of that. Please restore my account. And my account was not restored for about a year. And when it came back, all my followers and everyone else following was gone.
Wow.
And so like, fuck it.
Yeah.
I've gotten
so incredibly frustrating.
Yeah, I've gotten on comment timeout on TikTok for doing something similar. Someone was defending Matt Gaetz, and I said, "Oh," and it's like I don't know if I need like a sarcasm button, but I was like, "Oh, we love someone that supports it." I'm not gonna say it. And someone reported it, and I even put like laughing emojis. Like it was real clear, what I was saying. Yep, comment timeout.
See, I think the issue with social media in general is that if you don't have a little verified blue check mark next to your name, your account can go at any moment for any reason, and you will lose any momentum that you have built.
Absolutely.
So that's, it's a fine line when you're a unverified creator just trying to, get your views out there, because if you push that line too far, you've lost it. But if you don't push it far enough, you're not going to get the following that you're looking to get. You're not going to reach the people. So if it's a tightrope walk across a canyon. One misstep and it's done, and it's gone.
And that's what I was going to say, Matt, when you were talking about like how your COVID misinformation, that it's educational. Videos aren't getting views, but how many of the actual misinformation videos are pushed to hundreds of thousands of likes? Not
the corner on the arm, everywhere,
likes.
Everywhere.
Yeah, and all the election misinformation and the lies and these things that are really like dangerous and deadly constantly get pushed.
Yep.
I mean, I saw this 10 years ago with Facebook and anti-vaxxers, and they were same misinformation, same messaging, and we ended up with measles outbreaks all over the country because of all these anti-vax groups that got all over the place on Facebook. It wasn't until like the last year or so before they started cracking down and eliminating these anti-vax groups, which they should have done years ago. Now TikTok it's the same problem, and it's even worse. It's worse than Facebook ever was.
Yeah, they love it. All right. I seriously could probably talk about TikTok dumpster fires for 2 hours. But I do want to talk about some like current event stuff that's been going on. So let's talk about the new CDC mask mandates and guidelines and Mr. Abbott's anti-mask mandate that he just signed. I'll kick it off because I don't want anyone to think I'm a Republican. Which merch link in bio. I do have some merch. Nikki New has some merch as well that says vaccinated, not a Republican. So whoever you guys want to support, we always appreciate it. But in Georgia, they've lifted all mandates federally, but a lot of stores are still deciding you still got to wear a mask, even if you're vaccinated. And I went to Costco the other day, talk about a dumpster fire. I hate Costco. I did not rant about my mask, just so everyone is clear. I didn't bring a camera crew. I didn't throw a hissy fit. And I'm not 5 foot tall. So, yes, we're petty on this channel, just so everyone is clear.
Here for it.
Yeah. And they said, are you vaccinated? And I said, proudly. And they're like, if you don't want to wear a mask, you don't have to. And I was like, I'm good. Yep. And I put that sucker on. Yep. And it's because I want to still respect other people. There's still variant. I work in COVID, just in case anyone wasn't aware of that. I work for a COVID testing company. And we do RNA and DNA sequencing to look at variants. I don't know if I want to say too many details for a specific group of people in the United States. We'll leave it at that. And we've already found 13 variants of COVID within that population, and they're all asymptomatic people. So it's partially that. It's partially because I don't want people to think I'm an anti-vaxxer or anti-masker, but also I can't control my facial expressions. And I've been so used to like mumbling rude things to people for a year. House of Petty. That's right, Mr. Mayhem. So what are your guys' thoughts? What do you think you're going to do?
I'm still wearing mine for now. I'm not going to change my practice anytime soon. Same reason. I don't want to be mistaken for a Republican or an anti-vaxxer. Probably until the point where we get closer to some form of herd immunity is when I'll maybe feel comfortable of finally doing that. And also maybe when we can get more children vaccinated. It's not going to be until September until we get the 2 to 11 range, with the EUA approval from the FDA. So, until that point, I'm probably going to wear them. And I said, you know what? Probably after COVID, I'm going to be wearing masks during flu season because, we see it in other countries where it's commonplace and it really brings down the flu deaths. Yeah. And we saw we had virtually no flu this past flu season. And so I'm all for, to me, no one likes wearing a mask, but if I'm going to go shop in Target or go to the grocery store, sure, I'll throw on a mask. It's no big deal. So for the short term or maybe even longer term, I'm going to keep wearing mine.
Yeah. It makes me think that I'm a horrible human being for the amount of times I went out in public sick and that I went to work sick. And if that's not the American corporate America, I'm not sure what is, when you just go to work deathly ill.
Oh yeah, because you ain't got no time off. You ain't got no time. You don't have a choice.
Because I want to go on vacation when I'm not sick.
Exactly.
It made me really think, holy crap, how many people did I get sick? Because masks weren't a thing. But if you look at Asian countries, they've been doing this for years. And it's just that is the social norm, the respect for other people, that if you're sick and you have to go outside, you just wear a mask, so.
Well, and I've gotten into quite a bit of, I've made a few videos talking about how well Western Australia has done
in New Zealand,
maintaining their as a population as a whole, and maintaining the guidelines and doing what they needed to do to combat this before they even had the vaccine. And now I think they had one confirmed new case last week, and they shut down for 3 days until they found that person. And then once they had him quarantined, then they reopened. I think the problem that we're going to have in the United States is that Americans are selfish pricks who aren't going to do that.
No.
Yep. We can't depend on public responsibility.
No, and that's the whole thing with I think we all have agreed previously on different chats and lives and texting and whatever that the Democrats and the left don't have the right messaging most of the time. They struggle with their messaging, and we're not gonna get into this in detail, but defund the police, horrible messaging, right? It does not get the message across clearly.
It's meant to antagonize.
Yeah, exactly. But I hate to say it, and I used to work at the CDC. They really got their messaging wrong on this one, because we are supposed to trust that anti-maskers and anti-vaxxers are going to wear a mask because they're not vaccinated.
Right. They're gonna lie. And that's why I'm hoping
they
businesses
already are.
Right. And that's why I'm hoping businesses will ask people, because it's contrary to popular belief among the anti-vaxxers, it is not a HIPAA violation to ask you if you're vaccinated before entering their store. They are allowed to do that. And so I'm hoping most businesses, if I owned a business, you're not walking in my store unless you have a mask or you can prove to me that you've been vaccinated, period. Otherwise, you're out. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm in a small town here in Pennsylvania, and business owners are citing, this is a 80% Republican town, and business owners are not going to make you do it, except for things like McDonald's, things that are corporately owned. But there's very few of those around here. They don't force you to do it. In fact, they don't wear anything themselves. So my small effort, I probably shouldn't, I haven't said this online, I probably shouldn't, but I may be the person that is calling and reporting every business here. It might be me, it might not be, but
I'm shocked.
But someone is definitely holding them to that. But that one I'm afraid to make a video about because that could get me into a lot of trouble. But
fair enough.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't.
I should stop talking about it. Go ahead.
Well, I'm sorry, bro. I really didn't mean to step on you there. For me, and I've said this the last few days. Unfortunately, when the CDC, the White House, Dr. Fauci all come out and say you don't have to wear masks, every word that comes after that, nobody paid attention to.
No.
Right.
Like
you're vaccinated.
It's not like Americans are all reading the fine print here. And the part that really upsets me as a parent, even though, I have to say I'm very fortunate, and I have my wife here with me, so we don't have to take our kids out very often, but not every parent has that ability. Not every family has that ability.
No.
And so you have all these kids that are being taken out. And I think it was Matt that said that too, and they're not vaccinated. So you have all these anti-vaxxers, anti-maskers walking around in the stores, not containing their germs and whatnot. And I have to depend on them for my kids.
Yeah.
People have to depend on them for the safety of their kids. And their excuse is, well, not many kids get it. Yeah, but what if they do? And what if they die? Are you really okay with that?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and a lot of them do get it, and it's asymptomatic, and they're vectors.
Yeah.
They're spreading it everywhere.
I agree with you, Jess. I think the messaging was poor. I think it also on the other side of the coin. I think it made us look bad in a lot of ways, and it gave the right and Republicans. They said, look, it was always bullshit.
Oh, the amount of videos I've seen of see, it's not about public health, and it's like, oh, now you believe in public health?
Right.
We all know what they do. It almost doesn't matter what the messaging is, because we all know that they are the party of hypocrisy, and they're going to spin it to fit whatever narrative du jour is, right?
They're having the same fight in Congress right now. They're saying they're not going to lift the mask mandate for congressmen until everyone's been vaccinated. And of course, who they're all fighting. They had a little protest yesterday, I think it was, where a few of them now got fined. Some of them got their first offense because they were not wearing their masks. They're saying, Pelosi's saying, we're not lifting our mask restriction until you're all vaccinated. And, Marjorie Taylor Greene and the rest of them are like, no, sorry, we're not. And so it'll be interesting to see how that fight ends up.
Matt, did you make a video about that today?
About?
No, I can't remember who it was. Someone made a video about Marge, because I refuse to we'll call her Musty Marge, as Ryan likes to say, that she's complaining about that because she got a $5,000 fine for not wearing it. And she's like, it is unconstitutional. And it says in the Constitution that sorry, I can't make a horse face. I apologize. I refuse to. That it's unconstitutional to change the pay of a congressperson. So she thinks that a personal fine, let's remember, these fines cannot be taken from the taxpayers' dollar.
She didn't make that argument.
Yes, she did. And she said, I can't remember who made the video. And I said, oh, so I guess you shouldn't be voting on any raises for Congress, if that's going to be your logic. And they pointed out in the Constitution where it talks about all of that. It's just it's just becoming such a circus of dumb people who were elected into office, even though she ran unopposed and still only got 75% of the vote, which how do you manage that one?
How do I... Oh my God.
Oh, I'm going to get Ryan all heated about this.
It's coming. I'm trying to spin it all together right now.
It's
frustrating when people I'm sorry, go ahead.
Campaign representation of why you should support Marcus Flowers in Georgia.
Yes.
We're going to cut to a commercial for Marcus Flowers now.
Yes. Marjorie Taylor Greene is a moron. Support Marcus Flowers.
Yep.
Marcus over Marge.
And I think I can talk about it, so I'm going to talk about it. We had a meeting with Marcus Flowers' campaign today, and we're trying to get him on the Nikki Ryan show because we want to promote them as much as possible. So like Matt said, please go read about Marcus, and if you like what you see and you like what you hear, which I think you will, donate a couple bucks to him, because Marjorie Taylor Greene is raising a crap ton of money through a few donors. going to Trump's Mar-a-Lago stuff and touring around with Matt Gaetz. She's raising a lot of money. So Marcus Flowers is going to need, and he's doing all his donations through grassroots, like $10, $20. So please, guys, go, even if you don't live there, we can still go support him because it's so important we get rid of Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Matt, are you laughing at Mr. Mayhem's
comment? Yes, I am.
I'm like, are you laughing at me?
Like in the middle of something hilarious, and I just happened to look over at the chat, and I'm like, oh my God.
I'm not going to put it on screen because I don't want this video to be taken down, but it's really funny. We'll just plug it. For the podcast listeners, I apologize for the laughter, but it's real worth it. So plug, because I'm in Georgia, Marcus, thank God Marge isn't my district. In my district, I have a great representative, but he is on TikTok. He maybe I'll campaign to be his social media manager because love you, Marcus, but let's get your TikTok together, buddy. It's Marcus 4, the number 4, Georgia, all together. So if you could go give him a follow, and then in his link tree, he has like where you can donate, you can sign up for his email stuff.
Follow him on Twitter too. He needs everybody following him on Twitter, and he puts out a lot of stuff there as well. So follow him everywhere. Just show him support, and if you are able to send him a few bucks, that would be outstanding.
Yeah. So, all right. We can get one more topic in. We'll go a little bit over the hour, but that's okay because we started late. We started a little late, so it's all good.
Sorry.
Yeah. I'm gonna charge you per minute next time.
You're gonna get fined.
Great, lowering my pay.
We lost
Matt.
We lost Matt. He'll be back. So we kind of already touched on Marge and a little bit on Gaetz, but we're not going to get into too many details with him.
Why are they touring around? Can somebody explain to me why they're coming to Arizona on Friday?
I don't know, but if you're listening to this before this Friday, it would sure be a shame if we all went and signed up for free tickets to their limited ticket access event. So
I'm still debating if I'm going to go up there and record.
Well, let me get Matt back in.
Nikki wants me to.
Here he is.
Me to go.
It's all right, Matt. So we kind of already talked about Tweedledee and Tweedledum. So let's talk about the big news of the week: Trump and his criminal investigations.
Oh God, I loved reading that. I'm not going to say that.
Yeah. So, and then today, Ivanka now has criminal charges against her as well for
charges yet, or just
investigation? Investigation, and it's over the misuse of campaign funds.
Yeah,
and them like overcharging for events at the Trump hotels.
And this is a big deal. You don't see the Attorney General, the New York Attorney General, and the Manhattan DA their offices working together ever. It never happens, and they are coordinating an attack on them. And we'll see where it's going to be a long, drawn out process. And I think people are getting really excited that something's going to happen like tomorrow, but it's going to take a while. But they're finally digging their teeth in pretty hard.
Well, the legal system takes a long time. So
it's almost like the state of New York has known that Trump has been a piece of garbage for a long freaking time.
As a New Yorker, I've always hated him.
Yeah.
Go ahead, brother.
Oh no, I my only thing is I feel like they've been edging us for so long with Trump getting in trouble or being held accountable for anything that just do it. Just do it already. I'm ready for that release. Just cut us, whatever you do to him. But,
just rip the Band-Aid off already.
Right.
And I think it's important to note too that a lot of people, I don't want to say a lot of people, it sounds like a question somebody asked Jen Psaki. I have seen comments of people, God, what are we talking about? I just thought about Jen Psaki and got all excited.
Trump being held accountable.
Matt's going to wear a red bobbed wig next time.
Oh my God.
Just
I'm
for
sorry.
you,
I
Ryan.
love her, and her leaving is heartbreaking my heart. But yeah, I totally forgot where I was going with that. Fuck, I'm sorry.
It's all good. It'll come back to you.
It will. It'll come back to me in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm trying to look up some details because I'm clearly not prepared. But they have extra.
I remember now.
Go.
Sorry.
Yep.
The taxes. They were all wondering when something was finally going to come of all these taxes that they had finally gotten. And people thought nothing. They thought, again, he was going to get away with nothing. And I think we're finally starting, now that they've had months to comb through all the information they got, I think now we're finally starting to see, like, oh, no, we've got something.
Yeah.
You know,
well,
and
yeah, I think
whether it takes 6 months or 12 months or even I just hope it ends with his ass behind jail and never able to run for office again.
How long before Trump says, Ivanka who? I've never heard of her.
Oh, no. I don't think so.
She's going to dye her hair brown.
If there was one person that it would be Ivanka.
Well, that's true.
I think he thinks it'll up his chances.
Yeah, probably.
But do these people honestly? Their whole theory, I think, is that there's no bad publicity. Like, it doesn't matter as long as they're talking. As long as we're talking about them.
No, they thrive on it, and I mean you can tell just by the way that Trump conducted. I use that word really loosely. Himself during his presidency, that it was all about the tweets and how outrageous he could be and how outrageous what he could say, and because his supporters are low education, low knowledge based people for the most part. I'm not going to say they all are, but a majority of them. Okay, fair enough. They eat it all up as, oh, well, he's not a politician. He speaks the truth. He's very real, blah, 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 because they've all convinced the poor people that the poorer people are stealing their money somehow. And so it's just this cycle of how outrageous can I be, because I'm going to rile up my base so much that they're going to do all the work for me, and all I have to do is be some semi-controversial.
Yep. His entire life has been a grift. His whole life has been his deal. Yep. He doesn't have a position on anything. He doesn't care about, and even the issues he doesn't care about those. His life has been a grift. I don't think he wants to run in 4 years. I think he'll toy with us and say, yeah, I'm thinking about it. Yeah, we're looking seriously at it. We're looking real hard while he's collecting all the money. And he's
just selling Trump 2024 stuff, and then he's not going to run. That's my prediction.
And he knows he lost 2020. He knows he lost. His supporters don't know it, and he knows he knows he can grift, but he knows in his heart that he didn't win. He knows it.
Yep. And Katrina here in the comments brought up something. She says, I know some highly educated that support Trump, but they are super greedy people too as well. And I think that that's a good distinction to make too, is that really, I personally think there's two people that support Trump. One is who just described, you know, the people that are probably a little less educated, a little more easy to fool, you know, that kind of thing. And then there's the people that are actually very intelligent. The thing is that they live their life the same way he does.
Yeah.
They think it's okay to sexually assault women. They think it's okay to screw anybody over for money. They cheat on their taxes. They're generally pieces of garbage human beings. And that's why they support him, because it allows them and enables them to do the exact same thing that they do, but just do it more openly.
Yeah. No, that's a great point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Mayhem says Tiffany's definitely going down first.
Now she will get thrown to the wolves. She will get.
Yeah, he's already said Tiffany who.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he forgot about Tiffany for 15, 20 years. So.
Yes, that's very true. That's very true. Yeah, it'll be interesting because this whole time, his base, at least on TikTok, they don't want to acknowledge that he didn't pay his taxes. He didn't release his tax returns. He doesn't have 26 sexual assault allegations with written affidavits, one being of a 13-year-old girl. They don't want to admit any of that because it's like, innocent until proven guilty. None of that is true. Nothing's happened yet. And like watching the New York AG, it's like, she's not stupid, you guys. Like she's conniving in the best way possible.
Yep.
She's super smart. She's not going to rush into anything just to be like, oh, we're going to get something. She's like, no, we're going to get all of it. And that takes time to gather and make sure you have all of the right resources. And like, as we were talking, I was trying to look up an article on the newest news that now they've gathered additional witnesses for the criminal charges. And that's kind of what helped turn it into more criminal charges than civil charges. And so it's like, yeah, it takes time. And I can't wait to rub it in all their faces, because that's always their response is, well, nothing's happened. Just like, is this the just wait and see that we've been all being told to wait for?
Yeah.
It's like,
I'm going to start using it. They're like, nothing's happening. I'm like, just wait. It's all
just wait. Yeah, I do that. I throw that back in their face too.
You know, no matter what, though. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was saying, no matter what, they're going to say something. It's never going to be, hey, sir, madam, I made a mistake. I saw that after we saw this through, it looks like I have been wrong this entire time. I owe you an apology, you an apology, you an apology. It's not going to be like that. It's just
they'll block you, or they'll delete their entire TikTok account, which I also see as a win.
Right.
So
True.
The best feeling in the world.
Make a conspiracy of like everything is rigged, everyone is lying. The AG is a lying
deep state.
alien.
Witch hunt.
Sure,
She's an alien.
There's never any sort of accountability that'll ever be taken by that side. And I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about what they think. I'm not worried about what the bad guy thinks about getting in trouble or what his minions think about that. That's not my concern.
No, I just want results and justice at the end of the day. But I will have fun rubbing it in everyone's face.
Sure.
And like, if that takes me down in TikTok, I'll die happy. Okay.
I'll be there with you.
I'm driving the bus to hell. Okay.
And I just want to say I'm going to be here for it. And I think Letitia James knows exactly what you guys just said. She knows that what everything that's going to be used against her, and she's. Make no mistake, and you guys write this down, put it in your calendars today that I said this. She's going to slit his throat in the middle of New York City, and we're all going to watch it.
Figuratively, don't take this video down.
Figuratively, sorry, yes. Figuratively, but she's going to end him and do it in such a way that there will be no discussion when she's done. Like she's going to lay out a game plan that ruins not just him, but his entire family. And by the way, I think that's what needs to happen. Like, it's much bigger than him. So we need, I pray that that's what she's doing, is building a case that's so freaking big that it's not just going to be Donald that goes down. It's going to be Junior. It's going to be Ivanka. It's going to be the whole freaking Trump organization, so that they can never, ever again influence politics in this country.
Yeah. I just imagine Eric confused in a corner, wondering where all of his family members went with just all gummy, just like
him and Baron hiding in a couch fort.
What were you going to say before that, though?
Pillow fort dead.
No, what I was going to say is that I hope that is true, but also that needs a shockwave too, as enablers to the people that are pulling the strings. Your Roger Stones, your Stephen Millers, like they're still out there. What's her name? I'm so glad I'm forgetting her name.
The Kraken lady?
Claudia Conway's mom.
Kellyanne.
Thank you. Why would you put that back in my brain? Why?
Skeletor.
How long forget? Claudia Conway's mom.
Anyway, those people are going to continue to, prop people up. Another populace that is so toxic and so harmful. It could be Margie. It could be anyone. So I hope that it not only takes down him and his family, but also anybody who was a part of this, including those that were partial players like Ted Cruz or Hawley or anything like that enabled January 6th. I really want. My hope is justice.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see it. I hope to see him behind bars. I'm thinking my guess is the best we'll get is some sort of defense of no president's been put in jail, so I can't be, some sort of weird gray area precedent, but he will be spending the rest of his life paying back debts he can never afford to pay back, never going to be able to run for anything, never going to be able to open or start a business. But that, in my opinion, is the worst case scenario, because we don't get what we want. We don't get justice out of that. So I still think, even at worst, he's going to be screwed no matter what.
Yeah.
I just want it to be like a fatality. I want it to be so good.
What Ryan said.
What Ryan said, yeah.
But thank you for jumping in to clarify. Let me.
Oh yeah.
I got excited.
This is episode 1. It can't be the last episode, Ryan.
No.
I'm already kicked off Twitter. I can't get kicked off.
Yeah, we don't want to add to that.
All right. Well, we are at time. Although I thoroughly enjoyed this, and I could just, it's interesting. And Mikey and I said this a few weeks ago when TikTok finally afforded him a dual live option. We dual lived, and Mikey and I have each other's phone numbers. We text each other pretty much every single day. And we chat on we have 50 different chats on 50 different platforms going on. That's how you know you're real friends. But we had never had a phone conversation or even a video chat. And we hopped on live together, and it was as if we've been friends for a very long time. And this is how this feels. And it is it makes me a little bit clapped, you know? It makes me feel good that we can have these great relationships with each other that we would have never had in real life. We don't live, all of us live in a different state from each other. I didn't know any of
COVID to thank for it.
Yeah. I mean,
in a really weird way, we do.
Yeah, it's true. We would have never met. And honestly, in a weird way, if the shit show of the 2020 election stuff didn't happen, we might not have met because we're all political TikTokers. Although, some of us do crop top videos and, we all do kind of other stuff too. But at the core of it, we're all political commentary TikTokers. And we kind of came together because of that. So it's this weird thing of these negative dumpster fires that actually brought cool people together. So today was really fun. I can't wait to do it again. If you guys want to give a little outro of just where they can find you, and then we'll just play a little outro video. And I just want to thank everyone for joining today's show. So Ryan, you wanna get us going?
I'll kick us off. Thank you for having me. And guys, I've been on the show with most of you guys before. Mikey, it was nice meeting you finally. Awesome. So thank you again for having me. It was awesome to be on your first show. I know it's going to be great. So you can find me though on my other shows, which is the Nikki Ryan Show on Mondays, and then you can find me at Ryan Rants on Tuesdays on my YouTube channel, which is Ryan Shed. And then if you feel so inclined, I'm going to be begging for money very soon, running for the Arizona House here. We need to keep my seat blue in LD9. So I'll be out begging for money and support very shortly. So thank you again for having me. This was great. And I love all you guys. I really do. So thank you.
Thanks, Ryan. Mike.
Thanks so much for having me. This was a blast. I love all of you guys. I've been following all of you for the longest time and been fans from afar, and it's been exciting to get to know you guys a little bit, and nice to meet you today, Ryan, as well. And just, again, honored to be here for your first show, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. Mikey Piv on all of the socials, same name across the board. So thanks, everybody.
All right. Danish.
I just need to make a couple corrections for my intro. I am on another social media platform. I'm on Instagram.
I was going to say,
about that. There you go.
I literally messaged you before the show on your Instagram.
Yeah, forgot I had that. So my videos get taken down all the time, so they go there. Once they're taken down, that's their second chance. And it's same username, thatdaneshguy. Second thing I forgot in my intro was to say thank you for having me on. That was really rude of me not to remember to say that, so I want to make sure I say that. Thank you.
I'll find you later.
And thank you all. I do love all of you as well. Are we in the same room, Mikey?
Oh my God! How did I not know?
Okay, well,
I did not know that the whole show.
Even a dog Okay. Just tripped me. I thought I was up there, then I was like, I didn't grow out my beard. I'm not white.
We have the whole beard progression going on across all of us here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
All right,
so
Matt.
and then thank you again. That's my outro. Thank you. That was my intro. Thank you earlier. So it's my outro. Thank you again. Like I said earlier, tired of repeating this.
All right.
Yeah. So Matt, USMCangryveteran on TikTok and YouTube. Again, Jess, thanks for having us. This was a blast. And I'm gonna keep doing my best to get permanently banned on TikTok. So.
Okay. We'll help you out. We'll keep recording.
Don't worry.
Just like duet one of Danesh's videos. Or make fun of Sarah Jameson.
MAGA Man, so I'm hoping that puts me on the wrong side of TikTok and I get messed up.
Oh, MAGA Man. Oh, don't remind me about that.
Oh, you're working on that.
God. All right, I'm Jess, Getting Shiggy With It. You can find me on TikTok, Getting Shiggy With It, as well as my backup account that has a number 2 at the end. And then I'm also Getting Shiggy TikTok because some guy has Getting Shiggy With It, and his last name is Higgy. And I think I'm going to message him and bribe him for my username back. And then here on YouTube, and we're going to start doing these live shows and possibly some other cool content here. And then keep an eye out for podcast, which this will turn into a podcast. So I'm very excited about that. So episode 1, the Shig Show, I'd say is a pretty good success.
It's in the box.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really fun. So we'll play a little outro. My guests can stick around afterwards if you want to chit chat for a second. For everyone watching, I really appreciate it. And welcome to the Shig Show.